get a bunch of things here. What's up, guys? How's it doing? It's a Tuesday, and we got my buddy David, guitar off the cuff, and we got Kirk from the Rushmore show here with us. But let me handle the chat. The most important people in the room right now is basically the people up in the chat. Thank you all for being here. I got Retro Cannon. That is the son of the Rushmore show. I'm going to make sure I'll go ahead and give a little wrench there. Give it to give the wrench there. So yeah, the most important thing going on is the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and shout everybody out as I can. We got the girl dad, the other half of the Rushmore show, who is bummed that can't be here. But I will see the girl dad and Kirk on Friday, because I'm going to be a guest, and we'll be talking about hair metal. We got the Maiden's Word of Wax, who is not feeling good right now. Hopefully you feel better, Maiden, and congratulations for getting that 3,000. Now you can get super chatted. It's super chat time, baby. Yeah, super chat is super cool. Yeah, so congratulations on that, Maiden. And we got the dude himself, Spine Tick Sith, in the house. Yeah, if you want to see a cool live stream, go to Spine Ticks at 10 p.m. Central. I'm gonna be on again this Saturday, and I'm excited. I'm not too sure what my homework it is, but I'm gonna make sure I have something to show. I will bring something to show. I promise. And it's not gonna be a body part, I'm hoping. So, yeah, welcome, Sith, and thank you so much, man, for letting me.
At least not your body part.
Well, it's not. It's gonna be not my body part. It's gonna be. It's gonna be not separate. Private either. So, but thank you so much, Sith. Yeah, we do a lot of behind the scenes. Me and Sith talking about monetization and the cool stuff. I'm actually gonna go see him in California for VidCon. It's the YouTube convention thing. Super excited. I don't care how much the tickets cost. That's cool. I'm gonna go with Sith. Bong's probably going to show up, and then also my oldest buddy on YouTube is Allison Pro Jam Raph. So I'm super excited for this summer to get that done. And then let's see, we got the Burpees Giant in the house. So while you guys are here, let's see. I'm going to just stop right there. Keith, Kirk, if you could just drop your link in my thing, or did you already?
I'm sending it right now. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, let me go down real quick and make sure. Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go make sure. So I'm gonna make sure I drop the link, because as you guys know, I am already monetized and I do not need the watch hours. It's all about views when it comes time to when you are monetized. It's not about watch hours, not about anything that. It's all about the views, baby. All about the views, baby. Hey. Yeah. So that's non-copyrighted. I just wrote that. So yeah, at the top, go over to the Rushmore's house. Stay there. The Rushmore will give you a moderator wrench. He's going to click the 3 small dots on the right, and then you're going to moderate. I will be a guest with him on Friday. So going over to Kirk's house and hang out and just have a good time. So yeah, get yourself a chain. In the StreamYard link, I will be able to see a chain, and then yeah, let's help him get some watch hours. He's a cool dude, and I'm glad you came on. Let me go back up and just make sure I say what's up to
everybody. I'm sending it over right now. What's up, Vlogs? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, okay, so what's crazy is I had to back out of the StreamYard to get onto the thing to pin. So it's pinned now. The Rushmore shirt.
So because I'm on the same one at both times, I think it it wouldn't let me log in correctly, so I'm sending it from my phone. So here it comes.
Okay, I pinned something up there. I'm hoping it's correct. But let's see. We'll test it out. If anybody in the chat, Dave, if you can look at the real time chat and let me know.
I'm sending it right now. Hey, pin this one there, Bert.
I got you.
Sending it again.
Should be pinball.
Incoming transmission.
Incoming transmission does not compute. We are not computing. We are computing this time. Replacing. Copy that. Big time rush on the. Okay, so I did it. So do this one. My fault. The one that I just pinned. Go ahead and head over to Kirk's channel, the Rushmore Show.
The first one was just a rehearsal.
Yeah, we're just trying to see if you guys were paying attention on the first part. So I was actually my fault. So I apologize. Burpees Giant, what's up, Burpees Giant? How are you doing? Yeah, he's gonna do 1 billion burpees by the end of the year, guys. I think he's got maybe 48 more days of burpees. He's got 1 million burpees to go.
With a B? Billion?
Billion. So I don't know. I'm just saying it because anything above like 1,000 is 1 billion for me because I'm old, right? And my back hurts. So
I guess when I think about it, I do the math. He probably could be at 1 billion.
It could be. It could be 1 billion because you got to watch it. It's crazy stuff. He was on about 3 or 4 months ago. What's up, Giant? What's up, Robert Springs? Guys, I was able to have a couple conversations with Mr. Robert Springs over the weekend and the past weekend. And he's a very cool guy. Doesn't have any content, but I see him all over the place supporting, and he's been such a great guy. What's up, Robert? I'll talk to you again within the next couple of days. Let's see. I want to make sure I get everybody here. Rev Rats Rides. Say what's up, Rev. Rev does a Sunday show with mental health. I know last time he was praying. I couldn't go and like really hang out because I was taking my daughter around, Rev. But yeah, I was able to stick around for some of the prayers and stuff like that. And I slowly genuflect quietly in my house while it was all happening. I'm a teacher and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's weird. What's up, Mr. Brace? How you doing? And Rascal and Lucy, that is Renee of Rascal and Lucy. She is about 400 watch hours away from monetize, and she's been pretty awesome there. She's a great friend. You guys, check out Rascal and Lucy and the Black Widow channel. Hello, Black Widow. She's been doing some fantastic shorts about dad jokes. Welcome, Black Widow. And let me going down, making my way downtown, trying to get through the chat. Hopefully I'll get there fast. And Alan Williamson, one of the guys that has the best commentary. What's up, Alan Williamson? He has a drone. I asked Alan if he can fly his drone to my house. I don't know if he's going to do it, but it'd be cool. If I can see a drone fly by, I'm going to wave and just say, what's up, Alan? How you doing? And yes. And while we're doing all of this, while I'm doing all these chats and shout outs and things like that. Hey, that's us. What's up? Go over to the Rushmore's house and just hang out there. He'll give you a wrench and we'll move from there. And ads, I'm sorry about the ads, Alan. I gotta buy shoes, man. I gotta buy shoes. And you can skip
Daddy
it. Daddy
needs new pair of shoes.
Daddy needs big shoes. No, you can skip it if you like. DM card opening. What's up? DM is a good member of the card community that we were kind of merging through. DM's from Canada, just like Maiden is, and I believe his friend Perch there, and John the autograph fisherman. So a lot of cool guys from Canada coming through and hanging out with us. Gina, always a VIP. Yes, Gina, you are always a VIP, and welcome to the show. Make sure you guys go over to the Rushmore show and hang out in his live. And we're gonna kind of fall off, and I might not be able to see you, but I'll make sure I jump on yours as soon as the chat's up. That way I can actually see the live stream. What's up, Alice and Pearl Jam, my oldest friend on YouTube? He's probably 200 or so hours away from full monetization. The full Monty. He's going for the full Monty. And Alice and Pearl Jam, Raph, what's up? I hope you can I know you're going to make it. You're going to go to VidCon with us, and it's going to be a fantastic time. Yeah, I'm so excited. National Parks Princess, how are you doing? DL's a cool friend. Eventually she'll be doing some live streams and stuff like that. She does her thing, and she's got some great stuff. She goes to the places that you could only wish you could go as you're passing on the side of the road. So that's me. I'm like, I want to check it out, but oh gosh, I got a timeline to meet. So she'll do all that. We got the girl dad saying, what's up, everyone? How you doing? I will be talking with the girl dad and Kirk on Friday on their show. And I'll make sure I will put an announcement out there. Sports card ripping teacher Vince, how are you doing? Vince is ripping all of the cards and stuff, and also teaching. I think he's also a elementary teacher. Kirk, the sports card ripping teacher's name is Vince, and he is an elementary teacher. I could not do that. I could only, 6th grade and up is all I can deal with. Stephen, Tina Jewel, how you doing, Stephen, Tina Jewel? Welcome to the show. And guys, as you're coming in, go over to the Rushmore show, hang out in his thing. I'll make sure I'll go and open his live stream. I'm gonna have to go back and forth to make sure I can see the chat there. Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Vogs18, what's up, Vogs? Vogs does some cool stuff on Spine Tick's show. Spine Tick shows on 10 p.m. Central Time on Saturdays, and he usually does a Lowe's Ticks, which is pretty funny because every time I go to Lowe's, I think of Vogs. And I'm like, I'm looking around to see if I like.
It's one of my favorite things on the show every week.
He's not in Texas. I'm like, well, one day maybe I'll see him. I'll go to every Lowe's and see if I can find Vogs there. What's up, Ryan Basketballs? Toot everyone. How you doing? Yeah, he makes some cool QR codes. Mr. Brian Basketballs does, and he has a basketball on his head, and he's just a super funny dude. I think he starts like around on Saturday. There's a train with Spine Ticks, and there's several people that go through. He's part of that train. And I know when I watch it and it's over, I have myself like an hour to eat dinner real quick. And then he's very entertaining. What's up, Brian? And welcome. And I might be all the way to the bottom. Let's see. Cool Gamer, how you doing, Cool Gamer?
Here you go. Cool Gamer is the one I saw that you didn't. Yeah.
Cool Gamer, welcome. How you doing? Cool Gamer in the house. And Sydney Cat spamming hearts in the chat from day one. Hello, Sydney Cat. Rah. Right. So Sydney Cat's a cool one also. Spamming hearts in the chat. That's what Cindy Cat does. And then 3 good nerds in the house right here. Let's see. I see. Okay, I can finally catch up and give a wrench to the people that need wrenches. If you guys are just popping in, there is a link up top. This is Kirk's link of the Rushmore show. Go ahead and hang out over there. I'm going to be a guest with Kirk on Friday with the Girl Dad. And at the bottom is my good friend from Louisiana. Hello, Bert and panel and chat, my Linda Elliott. Welcome, my Linda. Welcome. So, yes, we do have the Rushmore show up in here. Yeah. I just had to, right? So, guys, make sure you head over to Kirk's channel and hang out over there and just hang out there. We're just trying to, anybody when comes on and is a guest, I try to send everybody over to make sure they get some watch hours. You'll still be able to see the show and all, but just hang out over there on Kirk's chat, which I'm going to do once I'm going to go open up another tab and just enter your StreamYard and your live.
Well, when you get there, you have to swipe a credit card, right?
I will try my best to swipe that credit card as hard as I can, right? So
just type your credit card number in. It's part of the process,
right? And sir, do you need help with your thing? Like, just let me have access to your computer. No, sir, no, you're not going to touch my computer and have access. But yes, welcome. David, thank you for being on again. He's going to be here until I'm done doing live streams. Thank you for being a co-host
That's kind of foreboding there. Does that mean?
No, I'm just saying, as long as I'm doing lives, you're going to be with me until you tell me you don't want to do that. It's been freaking fantastic.
I just thought you were going to jump off the building or something.
Well, I mean, who knows, man? Like what tomorrow will bring, right? So if you don't hear from me, something happened. It's your show now. Okay, you gotta take it over. It's gonna be really good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be marvelous. So yeah, you go ahead and do that. If I take, you can just run the show and just pretend like say I'm in the restroom. But what's up, Kirk of the Rushmore show? Welcome, man. Thank you for coming on. How has it been? I know you're on spring break.
Yeah, so we're at spring break. We're down in St. Augustine, so it's a great time. Just arrived probably 30 minutes ago, but we'll be here all week. And it's our spring break. So I'm a teacher as well, and but our spring break started this week, where many of them started last week. So we're gonna spend some time down here in Florida.
Yeah, we had our break last week, and it was pretty good. We had not last week. We had a 4-day, and then you have yours, and it's been fantastic. What's up, Perch? How you doing? And Mimi's place, guys. If you're just popping in, there's a link up top. Go over and hang out in the link. You don't try not to double tab or anything. Go and hang out and stay over there in the Rushmore Show's house. And I still got to open it up. What's up, John, the autograph fisherman? He's been fishing for autographs. I know he's another one of those cool dudes from Canada. And I got the Rushmore show on with me today. And yeah, he's got a pretty good podcast there. I like his lighting. His boy is with him. What's your boy's name there, Kirk?
So this is Retro Cannon. He's the top one, but his name's Cannon.
How you doing, Cannon?
Yeah, he's got a video game YouTube.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Okay. I will check
Yeah,
it
so
out.
me and him are going through the journey of playing all the old video games for his very first time. So kind of just checking out. We kind of did Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, kind of going through a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
That is cool. And then like how maybe you could tell us Kirk about your channel. When did you start it? What made you want to start it? And like up until like maybe what you are doing now and you know some of the things you're learning.
Yeah, absolutely. So you may see Girl Dad down in there, down in the comments as well. That's Andy. Andy and I are great friends for the better part of 10 years or so now. I have a pretty cool testimony where I went through addictions and alcoholism and drugs and got saved and got sober and went into ministry. And in that journey, I met Andy. And Andy actually took my position back home at the church when I moved away. So that's in New Orleans area, moved to Atlanta. And so when we moved to Atlanta, we came here to be missionaries for homelessness and sex trafficking. And so we've been doing that the better part of the last 5 years, going out on the streets. And ironically, Andy was a teacher and I was a pastor and I mean, I'm still a pastor and now we switched. So now he actually took my pastor role and left teaching. And after my time as a missionary was done, COVID and everything else kind of led me to be in the education profession. And so we started our YouTube and just a way to connect and stay together and kind of talk with the youth that we were both ministering. I was the old youth pastor, generations pastor, along with him.
That's cool.
And then so we started that kind of in the beginning just to kind of stay connected. Just having a little fun. And man, the first episode was, the very first episode was, hold on. I see that it says I'm muted over on my channel. So let me unmute. So trying to figure out both of these channels at the same time is quite interesting. I've never had to do two at the same time.
Actually, Bert, you don't have to go. You could just like stream it out to your platform, just straight off the what do you call it? Off StreamYard. So like you could actually shut down the StreamYard and open up your YouTube live and just kind of just watch the two.
Well, I mean, it's there now, so it's already there, and we've got Rev Rats over there on the other side on my channel hanging out. So he's out in there. But so here's the deal: we started it just to see what would happen. First episode, the first 5 episodes we filmed while he was visiting for Christmas. So we did 5 in a row basically, and then kind of pre-recorded them, edited them, and kind of put them out there. In the first episode, we got like 50 subscribers and like 400 views. We're like, uh-oh, so this is something we're going to probably end up doing. And I don't know that we've actually duplicated that again. I mean, we've gotten, 10 subscribers, 15 subscribers, whatever, but 50 was pretty awesome in the first jump. And then, so we've been doing it for 3 years. Our whole gist was Andy was here at my house and he just walked up and just like, ESPN would do for basketball or football or whatever, he would say, what's your Rushmore of quarterbacks? What's your Rushmore of running backs? What's your Rushmore of whatever, like ESPN would do or any of the talking heads in sports. He came in my kitchen one day and he's like, hey, what's your Rushmore of, I think it was potato chips. It's either that or ice cream. It's one of the two. And I was like, well, I guess that's kind of a hard question. So I started thinking about it, and from that point on, about every hour or so, hey, what's your Rushmore of TV shows? Hey, what's your Rushmore of this? And it just kind of grew and grew and grew and grew. And people started asking, hey, you should probably do this as a YouTube. It sounds fun. And now we launched it, and we do 6 different topics. We do video games, movies and TV, music, food, sports, and nostalgia is a way that we can just throw everything that we don't know where to fit from our childhood into it. And so we do 2 months of each of those. And since episode 7, we've had a guest on every episode but one. And so most of our guests are either friends, other pastors or leaders in the church that we're a part of, and other creators. So that's kind of how we do it. Cannon's been on a couple times. My kids have been on. And so, Bert, you're on next week. And that's kind of how we're doing things. We're in music right now. We're doing music. And so all of the episodes, every Friday, we go live for about, and up until January, we had never gone live. Well, we went live once, and then it was okay. And now all of our shows are live on Fridays, unless we're doing ministry or family, and we move it to Thursday. We bump it up a day. And so we just surpassed 750 yesterday. I think we surpassed 760 before I jumped on here. I mean, we're growing pretty quickly now. We're kind of in a good incline. So it's fun.
Yes. Let me real quickly. I think I'm looking at the chat on your end and stuff like that. I think there's a sound issue when we try to run the 2 StreamYards. So like if you shut down your StreamYard, it should kick both, because Dave and I are not with you. So you'll lose Rev. Rev could jump on like on my end, because I think what's happening is there's like a disconnect, because you're on mine and streaming it out, and there's like a slight disconnect. Because we should all kind of like be together on the same, because I can't hear yours. So I mean, you'll still be live, but your live is coming from here, if that makes kind of sense.
But I'm not projecting live out from here, because I'm projecting out from my live. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I with the way it works, like if you click, oh my gosh, okay. So at the top right, there's a go live button on mine, the one you visited for me, and it could send the people out to yours, and then we're all together.
Oh, so on ours, we can't do multiple. You must pay good money. I don't. We can't do multiple in our StreamYard.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure it's because there's a way, because I have actually all of it open right now.
Well, then that will shut down mine though, and that'll stink. So
we don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I just muted mine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I had mine muted.
Yeah, next time, because so the way it works is like you come in and then you stream out from mine, and it's your own live. You know what I'm saying? Like it works in that way.
So
it'll still be yours.
I'll exit this one and see what happens.
Yeah, just exit your stream, and then you could send it out from the top right on my end, like where you're at. And then while you're doing that, what's up, North Roads Press? What's up, Zach Sports Cards and Collectibles? Lorenzo Out and About, and Southern Boys, and Judy. Welcome, all of you guys. And then Miss Mimi's Frugal Living. Yeah, just making sure we get all the chat, and we can get all the logistics working out. That way we could send the people to where they need to go. We're gonna fix the issue here, and then let's see real quick. You should, because I do want to send people out to your live, and then
all right, I'm trying. All right, save changes. All right, let me see if I sent it out now. One.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so when you pay for the StreamYard part, I can have 10 guests, right? And all 10 guests could stream from my StreamYard out to their live stream and get.
Yeah, I didn't do that level. We didn't do that level.
We're good. We're learning.
We only have the first level.
Yeah. So I mean, I could
Level.
even
You haven't leveled up yet on that, huh?
yeah, but even though that like you didn't pay me,
No,
I
we're
You
not
need more. You need to
monetized.
do more side missions. Get some more experience points.
yeah, you can still
Yeah.
get it.
So, all right, let me see if I can pull it up now. The new one.
Okay, so yeah, you're basically not gonna open StreamYard at all. You're just gonna come in, be in my
Yeah,
StreamYard.
that's what I'm doing.
Okay, and then at the top right it says go live to your audience.
Yeah, I'm already there. I hit it.
Fantastic. And let's see. I'm gonna see if it works. Let me refresh that, and we'll get the show on the road here. Oh, and I see Rev. Okay, so yeah, and then just can you copy the link for that, and I'll repost it.
Yeah, I'm doing it right here.
Awesome. I
See if we
apologize,
can
David.
find
We're
it.
working through the issues here.
That's all right. We'll develop a procedure manual, and then
Oh,
we'll
we could talk while I send it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. What's up, Fong? Foodie Adventure, how you doing? And then let's see, David, do you have a question for Mr. Kirk about pop culture? Because you are the pop culture guru in terms of
I don't
the
know
two
about
of
that.
us. Maybe you can ask him about some
I'm obscure
random
pop culture sometimes.
fact there
Yeah.
that you wanna ask him.
Well, what are some of the topics that came out of nowhere in your discussion that you didn't really think of, like potato chips? You don't, but then you have to think about brand and flavor and all that. What were some of the more fun ones to work on that just seemed like they were going to be?
Yeah, my favorite one, and especially this would be probably pretty what is the word, relevant for our crowd here, because our crowd is very, very cat leaning, which I jokingly told Bert, hey, try that one, Bert. I think that might be the new one. I jokingly told Bert I'm not a cat fan, but I am a fan of the Breakfast Club. So yeah, I'm a dog guy, but I also jokingly was like, man, I just don't get the whole stream my pets thing. I don't want to watch other people's pets. I don't, and it's just I watch you guys stuff just to support y'all, but I would never just show up if I didn't know anybody or know that person and watch somebody's pet. But and I just lost everybody there for you, Bert. Sorry, but here's the deal. On our very first 6 weeks or so, we were trying to figure out what our topics were going to be, and so our first episode, we kind of did a pilot episode where we're like, hey, let's just see what this does, and it was around Christmas, so we did Christmas movies, right? And that's the one that kind of blew up. That's the one that kind of was like, everybody was watching, everybody subbed, and we did like our top 4 Christmas movies. And so then we logged in and we were like, okay, our first episode is going to be on January 2nd of 3 years ago. And and when that came out, we were like, well, what are we going to do? And so it was the first of the year. It was the beginning. So we did intros to TV shows. So like we were trying to be relevant and try to figure out what to do. Well, 2 stories. One, I think it's week 4. I might be wrong on week 3 or 4 in January, but because we did the first 5 in a row. It was the holiday for that Monday was Ask Your Cat Questions Day. It was Ask Your Cat Questions Day. I think that was what it was. And we were like, what on earth? Ask Your Cat Questions Day? Like,
yeah.
This is a little overboard, but so we did pop culture cats. And so we actually did our top 4 pop culture cats, like episode 3 or 4, things like Garfield and stuff like that. And so that was a fun one that was kind of relevant to this. But and if I remember correctly, it was also Peanut Butter Day. So we did 2 Rushmores and we did our favorite ways to eat peanut butter. But my favorite one, probably of all time, Martin Luther King's birthday. He shared a birthday with Betty White, and so 3 years ago, we were thinking about what to do. And we actually celebrated Betty White's 100th birthday 3 weeks before her birthday. And about 3 days later, she passed away. And we had to refilm the whole intro. And so it's funny. I go back and look at episode 3. Our intro is totally different than any other intro we have because we had to redo it like at 3 a.m. before he left. So it's kind of fun. But here's the thing: we usually let our guests pick the topic, and so like we let Bert pick, and we kind of gave all the music things that we had did, and then he chose the '80s hair metal, which is funny because we're all bald guys that were going to do 80s hair metal, but it's going to be a fun show. Video games
real quick, Kirk, don't wanna interrupt you real quick because I fixed the issue here. I'm on yours now. Everything's good to go. What's up, Viking Gaming, and everyone else that has just popped in? I replaced the new link that should take you to Kirk's actual one where the 3 of us are on. It's at the top. So if you're in my live stream, thank you for coming. I don't need watch hours, but this is the Rushmore show with me and David. Go to the top and just hang out in Kirk's channel, and he will give you a wrench and stuff like that. I see Dirk Remington. What's up, Dirk Remington? He is actually with you over there, Kirk. And
I'm adding wrenches now.
Awesome. So as we're doing all that, guys, we just had some technical difficulties. We were all kind of rushing to get on to.
Yeah, I'm learning how he does this. So we've used StreamYard since January, and I there's so many new things that are within it that I just.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah,
probably add something new every week, anyways.
Yeah, they do. And on my end, there's 25 people up in the house. Thank you all for coming. I'd like to see everybody with a chain on my actual StreamYard. That just means you're linked. You're actually sitting over with the Rushmore show, Kirk, and just hang out with him because I have ads in mine. So don't go to mine. Just go over to Kirk's and good to go. And yeah, I don't need watch hours. Once you get the monetization, it's all about the views. All about the views. But yeah, man. So it's cool that we're both teachers, right, Kirk?
Yeah.
And Kirk, you were starting to say something about video games as far as.
Video games does real well with us. The community and the video game community is great. We've kind of gotten entrenched into that, which then put us into conventions. So we've been going to a couple conventions and having our own booth and whatnot, and. Awesome. Which has been fun, kind of being in that community. It's how we met Keith, the Pick and Preacher, which actually got us here. So we met Keith at a convention that we were doing, and we started following him and saw Bert. I think you popped in one of his lives, and then he's like, "Hey man, go over there." So we came over here and from Keith. So that's kind of how we connected back in like January. So, or it was probably a little earlier than that, but January is when we started going live. But yeah, that's probably our favorite is the video game community. Music is Andy's favorite for sure. He's a musician. He's an old punk metal band guy. Nice. So prior to his ministry days, and so he loves music. So that's probably his favorite. Sports is probably mine, along with movies. So food is everybody's favorite for whatever reason. So whenever we do food, it's usually pretty packed because everybody can relate, I guess, because not everybody plays video games or watches sports or whatever. But food usually kind of brings us all together. So that's kind of where we're at.
How has it changed from whenever you used to get comments before in the past and you respond to them? Now, when you're doing lives, how has that changed the dynamic of what you're doing? So
here's the deal. We're both family men, both kids, several kids, and we were pre-recording like 2 weeks ahead of time, and I love it because I love the whole editing process. I over edit probably. I just enjoy the whole process, but it was really draining us from our family. And so we had to figure a way to get away from that. And as far as those comments go, it's different because it's now real time. And so I think we were getting more back then. I think the shift. People are trying to understand kind of what we're doing, because see, when we were pre-recorded, if we would show, let's just say we said Garfield earlier in the pop culture cats, we'd actually show a clip of Garfield or some kind of whatever, and we'd throw funny jokes from other kind of movies and whatever, and when people said stuff, because it was recorded 2 weeks ago. But now everything is live, and so we have to kind of ad lib and keep rolling and kind of learn that side of things. But there's no other clips and things. So that and the thing about pre-recorded is if it gets copyrighted, right? We can kind of edit and change and move. Where if it gets copyrighted when it's live, you know, you got to wait until the very end and then maybe clip that thing out or whatever. We've uploaded a couple different times. But while we were in the green room, I mentioned, the only time we really get busted is if we ever do a wrestling episode. And WWE and those guys really hate for you to use their stuff. And so those are the guys the only ones that really ever hit us to really change stuff. So. Yeah,
let me just butt in real quick. Sorry, guys, we got some people popping in the chat. We got 32 up in the house. Guys, if you're just popping in right now, this is right below me is Kirk from the Rushmore show. There is a link. If you're in my live stream, please go over to Kirk's and hang out there. He will give you a wrench. I'm actually going to be a guest on his show on Friday, and then I'll be a guest on Spine's show on Saturday. What's up, Squirrel Magnet Fishing? Welcome. 99 Midnight Gamer. Well, thank you for popping in. The Southern Boys. How you doing? Kenneth Bird and Logan from the Hilt is actually in here. What's up, everybody? And then, yes, pop on
Logan.
over. Everybody should get a wrench. I have ads in mind. Kirk. His house smells nice. He's got some nice china in the back. Just look at that. He's selling Tupperware and like the Avon. So
I don't think that's Tupperware.
Or, I don't know.
I think it's,
he's selling terracotta bowls straight from China, like they're straight from the Ming Dynasty. And I don't know.
That's funny. From the Ming Dynasty.
It's from the Ming.
He went over to Taiwan to the Royal Palace Museum and stole some.
Yes. Yeah. Those terracotta warriors were like holding it, and he took every single one of them, and that's right back there. But go to his house and hang out. He's got those bowls if you're interested. And yeah,
I don't know that I missed anybody, but I think everybody has a wrench.
I'm checking. The cool thing is I have 4 devices open. One just to make sure we don't die out here. Again, okay, and then let's see. Yeah, man, cool. We got a lot of people up in the house, and maybe we could talk about David. You were asking about video games. I was paying attention, guys, but I was manning the technology.
What are some of the video games? Like, how do you approach the video games? Do you follow like new video games and discover new, or
so our
favorites?
So our show is scripted in a way. So like here, it's more of so our show is really got a format, I should say, if you will. I'm actually wearing George Washington for a reason. So it's the Rushmore show, and so your top 4, and we were trying to figure out what would be a fun way to kind of rank them or call them names. So we call them by the presidents. So we ranked the 4 presidents that are on the mountain. So it's Roosevelt, Jefferson, Lincoln, and then Washington, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's just the order we came up with, and we make the rules. And they actually have fun names called Rosie instead of Roosevelt. TJ Jazzy Jeff is Jefferson. Nice. And then Link, like from Zelda, is Lincoln.
Yeah.
And it was G-Dub, but that fell away real quickly because we just like calling him the George, like capital T, capital
the George. Nice.
So he's number 1. So that's how we rank them, 4, 3, 2, 1. And basically what we do, so David, if you were a guest, you would pick, say, top 4 Nintendo games, right? And so we would not discuss our picks. We wouldn't tell anybody. I don't even talk to Andy, and I barely even talk to my wife about it. She gets bored to tears of it nowadays. So it's usually me curating a list, whether it's through Google or AI or whatever I can find information to kind of just re-jog the memory of what Nintendo games I have. Because I don't necessarily have every game, but I do have a few. And then kind of figuring out what I would think my favorite 4 are. And that's it. That's just it. So the Rushmore, when you talk to sports guys, this is the 4 greatest of all time, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the argument is always the 4 greatest. Like, these are the best players or the best whatever. Well, what me and Andy have had this conversation over and over again, that it is impossible to have a GOAT conversation, because your GOAT is very subjective to when you're born, where you're from, who your parents cheered for, where did some player come out of your high school? I mean, the reasons that anybody would pick Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal and like make these guys go against each other is because of your own experience, right? Yeah. And so we figured it would be much more entertaining than talking about the same conversation over and over again than what are your top 4? What's your top 4? So we come up with our favorites. And then we actually have a side part where we add honorable mentions. Those honorable mentions, we call them Benjamins, all about the Benjamins.
Nice.
Quinn was thought about maybe to be the 5th guy on the mountain at one time. And so this is the honorable mention. He didn't make the mountain. He didn't make the cut. So we call them Benjamins for our honorable mentions. So we come up with our top 4, and then you add a couple extra that you're going to mention at the end of the show. By the time we're all done, if we have one guest, we usually have mentioned about 30 games or you know, in the round. And then we discuss them or we argue them. We'll tell how stupid your pick is, or wow, I haven't thought about that in forever. And so like the last episode we did was cover songs, right? And Andy and I have done this now for 3 years. So we're always trying to find the one that he didn't think of. Like you got this cover song, right? Or I bring up one or whatever. So now it's, you know, 80s metal with you, Bert. I'm assuming Andy has me pegged for all 4 of them, like, because I've talked about it. So I might try and throw a wrench in if I can. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how the show goes. And we've episode 114 is this, Bert. You're episode 114. So we've kind of on it.
That's cool. 114. Wow, episode 114. I don't even know how many lives I had done. What's up, Daniel Davis? Welcome. Yeah, man, we got 26 up in the house. We're trying to get everything going smoothly and all that.
You don't have episode numbers, Bert?
I don't, man. It's called Chatting with the Crew and stuff like that. I don't know. Probably episode whatever.
Just pick a number, and that's where we are.
Oh, now. It's the 4,000.
712.
712. Yeah, for sure. And then what's up, Bill's Treehouse? How you doing? So let me just in my end, I got 10 people up in my chat. If you're still in my live stream, please go head over to the Rushmore Shows live. His link is up top. And do I leave?
Oh,
you're telling me to get out. Okay, I'm gonna leave. David, it's your show. I'm out. Just Rushmore kick me out.
No, I'm just saying if you're in,
I'm messing around.
Just get the heck out.
No, don't get out. I love you guys, but yeah, there's 21 in your house right now. I got Phil's Treehouse. What's up, Phil? How you doing? So just stay over there with the Rushmore. We'll help him get in watch hours. Every guest that I have, I try to get everybody to go and hang out and see the show from there, because I got my hours and I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind, stuff like that. So,
well, I didn't know you wanted to do hip hop.
Yeah,
hip hop.
Yeah, we could have done anything, but I was just thinking of hair metal because my coworkers always talk, man, I go, dude, this weekend I'm gonna go see Motley Crue at so I'm like, lucky.
Over in my side of things, Bert, Girl Dad is hanging out, which is Andy, by the way. So go if you're here, go and follow Girl Dad. It's him and his journey with all of his girls. He's got 3 girls, and like he just does fun things like trying out crumble cookies or what they did for their birthday. But anyways, he just posted down here. He said in the comments, he said, "Oh, I know you're George for the 80s, right? The 80s hair metal." He said, "I may quit if I'm wrong." So yeah, I'm sure he's got it pegged. I mean, 100%. It's absolutely who you're thinking of, Andy. Yes, 100%.
I still remember the first time I had one of those crumble cookies. I had a slice of one, and it was just like one of the greatest.
It's like $30 a piece.
They're amazing. It's like undercooked cookies that are like this big.
Yeah.
It's the one your mom or your grandma's like, don't eat it, it's not cooked yet, and you like, yeah, whatever, you dip it and you try it out, right? So it's like that. It's good though. I don't know what they put, some kind of thing in there that makes it highly addictive. What's up, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt? Welcome.
Sugar.
Mark CCC. It's pure sugar. Let's real quick, David, do you want to introduce this little clip that you had made us before I forget? Because I wanted to make sure we did this for you.
Oh, I just we've been working on a little side project, getting our starting lineup for our cat basketball team, cat skitball team. So that's what this is.
All right, so we got a little 45-second clip made by David of Guitar Off the Cuff, and make sure you vote for Pedro this coming election season. So Pedro is actually running. Vote for Pedro. Okay, so and you got like 3 feet of air there, bro. So let's watch this cat basketball team, and we'll come right back in about 45 seconds. So what inspired you to make that, Mr. David?
I just picked the weirdest things that would entertain me, and I just keep going down that road. And so it's cats playing basketball, and then it was like, show me one dunking, show me one hanging on the rim, and everything. Now your banner there blocked an important stat that the last guy. You know, it's okay. It was just a note that he's the leading rebounder in the league. So.
Okay, yeah. So how many rebounds did the man get? Did Mr. Dennis?
7,000. Yeah, I think it was 7,000. Yeah,
7,000.
But no, I was so happy when that one came in that was like a Jordan, like this. I was having so much fun. Sometimes you go through thousands of pictures that just are no good, and then you find that one that's just perfect.
Yeah, I end up in a rabbit hole of AI. I was like, oh my God, you spent sitting here for 7 hours. You've done nothing, but you looked at everything. Like I could tell, like Kirk is like that. You see something cool, like a font, a color, a gradient. You're like, oh my God. And next thing you know, it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, what have I done? Not much.
I'm consistently making a thumbnail or designing something. I use AI quite a bit. I've watched you guys for a while and having this conversation. I use it for my school. I use it for my teaching. I use it for every single show. But when we were doing pre-recorded, it would write my script. If you ever go watch anything prior to January, I would do about a minute-long intro. And that intro was the script that me and Andy read was done through AI. Like it was a running thing. And like I would just go to the same prompt and I would type in the new title and it would shoot out the very next one. And I would just keep going back to the same one. I go back to it for my descriptions, for my videos. Cool. I go to the same exact prompt and go, here's the next episode. And it gives me the next episode. I don't have to redo the wheel.
I know.
I use it a lot. And
I use it in school too. We've actually have a program that I've been messing with for about 4 months. It's called Magic School. And there's like a beta, I guess like a beta that now I can drop a chat bot into like a lesson that I created for students. Then that chat bot could actually help them along the way answer the crazy questions that I didn't even prepare. Our job is going to be taken away, but
yeah, the chat bot's like, don't listen to Mr. Bert there. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Wan is lying. He's from Guam. What does he know about the United States anyway? He's from Guam. No, like, so like, yeah, you know what? People think that AI is going to get rid of us, but it can't, because we still have to add the inflections and actually add the caring to the part of learning. Because, like, you know, there's a difference between being a teacher and an educator. It's so different. Like, here, okay, boys, you're just gonna do this. Go do that, and I'll be over there. Don't bother me. That's like, hey, go do that. But then if it's like,
I had a couple
are we gonna
teachers
learn?
like that.
Oh my God, all my teachers were like that. Mr. Wan, just go back there, shut up, and I'll pass you, so you can play football.
Shut up, and I'll pass you,
dude. And I was like, it wasn't this back then, but I'd be like, bet. No, but that's what the kids say now. I would like, okay, you got it. I'll be quiet. Just make me pass. I'll do nothing. I can put my head down. Yeah, just don't say anything. And I'm like, perfect.
That's how I passed Spanish, Bert. My Spanish teacher was a huge baseball fan, and I was on the baseball team. And any kid that played on the baseball team automatically passed. And so, nice. Yeah, he basically said, go sit back there in the corner and shut up and stop. Yeah.
I was really good at that. What's up, Shentirement? Yeah,
Go back there and Kayete.
Kayete. Yeah, and I was about to say the other bad word, but we're not going to say that. But yeah, man, AI has done some cool stuff. I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually been doing a lot of different things and trying a lot of different ways to like make some money on YouTube and just screw around, because like I don't really have to worry about watch hours or anything. There's like no pressure. So I'm like, let me do 4 shorts. Let me do this. Let me put that. And what's crazy is by doing so many different types of things, and now I don't have to worry about like watch hours. I'm like free to like to use my imagination and like check this little banner out that the Mr. Rob Wilson from vidIQ gave me. So I got 2,600,000 views like a couple days ago. And it's a lot of it's the shorts, but you know, and the dumber the better. And I have to be tasteful when I do the shorts, which makes it hard because man, I could make them pop if I just add a middle finger or something, you know, like that would make people to watch, but I don't want that. I want to put something out that's just
don't fall to the dark side.
Yeah, the dark is like you could just go into the light, Caroline, and you're like, what's in the light? Like that creepy dude in the chicken with the maggots, you know, like is that what's in the light? But yeah, it's been fun, man.
There's always a shortcut, but there's a reason why there's a main road.
There is a main road, and it's called hard work and push all the buttons you can.
Yeah.
And but let's see, what was I gonna ask? So you are off for the week. Do you have any big plans coming up, Kirk, in terms of like YouTube? I know I caught you when you were doing like I want to say you guys were at a festival and you were live, and I was like,
so this is kind of a polarizing thing, but Andy and I both are ministers, you know, and we've been trying to figure out a way to actually give back to our community. And over the course of 3 years, and just being in ministry, period, but over the course of 3 years, we've actually friended a lot of Christian creators, and kind of watching them and gleaning off of some of the things that they're doing. So it's not cheesy content, and it's not you know, things that are against kind of what we actually practice what we preach for real, but still not be cheesy. And so we decided to use the conventions that we go to as ministry. So we've been preaching.
Oh, that's cool.
We've been preaching because so here's the deal. A convention is a Saturday, Sunday usually, or if it's big enough. And Sunday, a lot of the booth organizers, a lot of the people a part of the they may be Christian, but they can't go because they're doing whatever. So we're hosting Geek Church, Nerd Church at the
That's awesome.
And instead of being outside protesting, coming inside and saying, "Hey, here's a safe space." That's a taboo word, but here's a space that you could come in and actually have a conversation and not get smacked over the head with a Bible and told you're, going to hell because you like Pokemon, for goodness sakes.
Right.
So, and then we have a conversation and talk. And so our next convention is April 20th in Louisiana. Andy's preaching. We're supposed to, we'll be live the whole time there, and we'll be live during the message. And we are the MCs, so we're probably going to interview some of the guests. One of the guests is Sergeant Slaughter. Ming from Comic Book Men will be there. The original Batgirl, one of the original Batgirls will be there, and some artists of the Ninja Turtles will be there. And so we'll probably be interviewing some of those guys, and that will be on our show. So that's kind of the side thing that we've been doing, kind of our side project that doesn't consist of ranking. So that is, if you're asking big things, we're doing that. And then we're kind of collecting friends that are in the same space. And what we're going to do is every Sunday, like you would have a normal church service, we're just going to put a nerdy message that correlates with something in the Bible out on Sundays. And it's not going to be us necessarily. It'll be just random Christian friends that want to do one. So we have lined up, and you can come over to our space and check that out if you're interested and kind of see what we're doing on Sundays. Probably starting in the fall. So we're kind of getting our ducks in a row before we launch it. But yes, so that's pretty big for us. Yeah.
Awesome.
Find a way to merge that together.
That's some cool stuff there, man. As long as you're trying to give back, when you like go and you give back stuff, like things come back without you even trying. Sometimes, like you're just rewarded with blessings. That's the word, blessings. And that's how I've been taught.
Come back tenfold.
Well, I don't know about tenfold, but it does come back. 7, I think is the word, right? But like with me, I've been ever since I was a little. I was always told, like, make sure you help someone do this and this, and just help what you can whenever you can, and whatever you can spare, you spare it, right? Growing up in Guam, and for some reason, I've never wanted things. There were bleak times, like, oh my goodness, am I gonna make it? Boom, oh wow, where did this come from? And it's just one of those things, like, you get things when you give stuff, right? And if it's good things that you're giving, then you're gonna get good things back. I'm not gonna say it's
Bert.
crazy.
I'll just say that we've always said we're not a Christian podcast, but we're not a Christian podcast. If that makes sense. So like, if you come to our show, we're not always talking faith, but we do reserve the right to in the middle, kind of just, if something happens, just kind of share, a conversation or something that happened. But now that we're kind of doing this shift, we're saying that we're not a Christian channel, or I'm sorry, we're not a Christian podcast, but we're not a Christian channel. On our channel, there is going to be Christian content in another space. So if you want to continue watching us for the Rushmore show, awesome. But we would invite you to go and hang out and see what's going on over there if you're interested. So, and that's just kind of how that rolls.
Yeah, and then welcome Specs Appeal. Yeah, that is Joe, and she's got a cool dog, and she does some really cool stuff. Welcome. And if you're just popping in, I have the Rushmore show, and of course I have David Guitar Off the Cuff with me. I can't, guys, he's gonna be with me until I'm done doing live streams. So this has been fun, and thank you so much,
so
Dave.
ominous.
Yeah, until I stop doing live streams. That's not ominous.
Until the zombies make it to your house.
Until they bite me, and I'll be like zombie. I'll like, okay, David, you're up, right? So, thank you so much for all of you guys coming in, and hanging out and getting your wrench. At the very top is the Rushmore Show's channel link. Go and hand over there, and then say what's up, Specs. That's Joe, and then I don't know if I said hello to Dave. Dave collects. Yeah. He's one of the other one is sitting members of Spine Ticks, which has the best. House. Yeah, that's a cool dude. I've actually spoke to him, off
the young Keanu. Whenever he shaved, he
he looks like my brother. Like when he shaved his beard, I was like, wow.
Kind of like
he just recently shaved.
So otherwise, he has to fight the ladies off with a stick.
He's a cool dude. So yeah, welcome, Dave. Collects. Yeah. That song always pops in my head. Oh, and speaking of lucky, if you want views, it's simple. If you want to get YouTube views, Get one of these cats that wave. Ever since I got this, I averaged 38,000 views every 2 days.
Is that in the video every time?
No, it's just waving. It's what is it that like that watch you buy that's always moving, perpetual motion? It just continuously waves. I just changed the battery, and it died out. So I'm like, I need to get batteries because my views are gonna die. I don't know. I'm not superstitious, but if it's something simple as that $12 thing waving, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and claim that on tax. Like I'll
it's
say
symbolic. It's
it
symbolic.
Is, right?
It's something you look over. You know, you like give them a knuckle bump there.
Yeah, so it's like it's like waving at me the whole day, right? And its left side is customers or views, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. And yeah, man, like I'm gonna file on taxes. You guys are gonna enjoy yourself when you get monetized. You're gonna have to file some tax. I'm gonna say I spent $12 for that thing plus the battery, and it's part of my marketing budget. My good luck. You could claim anything. I'll put that stuff on anything, like Frank's Red Hot. So. While we have you on,
nice Frank's Red Hot. That's good
right.
Stuff.
I like making I cook, right? So, and I've noted my cooking stuff is actually popping off now. I'm like, hey, maybe I should cook more. But yeah, like I like making that Frank's Red Hot like hot wings with like you Frank Red Hot and butter and just and that stuff is magical. Hey, thank you for the 31 people up in the house, guys. If you're just popping in, I got the Rushmore show. That is Kirk. He's the dude with the awesome pink hat and the cool beard from ZZ Top. And then, of course, I got David of Guitar Off the Cuff voting for Pedro on this coming election. This is not a political channel because I doubt there's a guy named Pedro running, right? So
no, this is an actual friend of mine, but you have to do a write-in because he's not going to be on the ballot.
It's good. Napoleon Dynamite's friend Pedro. I don't know if he even had a last name, but Napoleon Dynamite danced for him.
I'm sure he did, probably.
I don't recall it.
The logistics would have been hard otherwise.
Right,
I wouldn't survive that long.
Yeah, what is his last name though? I've watched Napoleon Dynamite a lot, but like, do you remember Pedro's last name?
I don't.
And that just reminds me of the world. We vote for people we don't even know their last name or what they stand for.
Yeah.
I voted for
half the time we don't know what they stand for.
It's Sanchez.
Oh, it's Pedro Sanchez?
Sanchez. Nice.
Did Google help you, Rushmore?
Yes.
Pedro Sanchez. I think he did. He introduced himself, his full name. Hi, I'm Pedro Sanchez, like that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to just picture it at all. But let's see.
I went to the Napoleon Dynamite wiki.
Nice.
So it's Pedro Sanchez. Pedro Montoya Carlos Sanchez.
Pedro Montoya Carlos Sanchez. Yeah, so that I had a shirt like that. I just don't know where I put it. Okay, so what is your favorite your favorite movie of all time, Kirk?
See, that's a difficult one. We've done movies several times, but we always go to different genres. It really depends on the moment. I mean, at one time I would have said Gladiator would have probably been my number one. At a time in my life, I'm a Star Wars guy, so I like Star Wars. Here's an old one that I really love, Heat from back in the early 90s. I love that movie. But man, I watched the episode that time you guys were going back and forth. I was kind of chiming in. And we actually did a lot of those things. So we've done a science fiction movie episode. We've done, we haven't done like crime or horror or anything like that yet. But we've done an action movie one. We've done comedies. Yeah. So, I mean, it really depends on which genre. I'm a big movie guy. So I like The Crow. The original one.
That's one that most people overlook, that a lot of people don't even know exists. That's such a classic.
That's one of my favorites, kind of a cult classic. If we ever do a cult classic episode, it's definitely in it.
I should have, being a teacher, I should have rephrased the question. I'll be more specific. Like make it a choice where you have to say one. You know how like you ask a question, and you know damn well that you should have not have asked an open-ended question
Yeah,
at that
the
point.
guy who
It's
has
like,
the
oh my
show that
gosh,
he picks the
come
top
on.
4 rather
Yeah,
than just
no,
one, and then
that's
you
on.
say, "What's your favorite?"
Yeah,
There was
that's
a
like
time frame I would have given the same 4 or 5 movies,
right,
and I just mentioned most of them right there.
right.
Honestly, it was probably the 4 DVDs I had in college.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say what's up to Tranquil and Nikki 2 times. Welcome, guys. If you guys are just popping in, Specs Appeal, Joe and Tranquil, and then Nikki 2 times. If you guys go up to the top channel pin link, that is Kirk, the Rushmore Show. I'm going to be on with Kirk on Friday, and I will be with Spine Ticks on Saturday. So I'm getting not too busy, but it's been super fun. Yeah. So here's a better question. If you had one movie only for the rest of your life, that's the only thing you could ever see, that's the only kind of visual art thing that you could see ever, what would it be?
This has got to be like waterboarding for you, Kirk.
He's like, why do you, gosh, I love music.
No, I mean, I would probably go with 61.
Oh,
The-
61.
The Roger Maris Yankees story.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a huge Yankees fan. So,
that's cool.
which this pink hat is a Yankees hat. So, yeah.
Nice.
But I would probably, it would probably be a sports movie of some sort. And that's probably my favorite. Field of Dreams, maybe. Yeah, I would probably go with 61 though.
61. And what would you eat it with? Because that's all you'll be watching and eating forever.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. You can actually live off peanut butter.
Peanut butter is my #1 favorite food of all time. But if I had to actually pick some kind of dish, it would be probably hot wings.
Nice.
Okay, so
which we haven't done. Which that's coming up. We're doing a top 4 sauces episode for wings. So I can't give you my wing sauce because that's an episode coming up.
You gotta hold it. You gotta hold the material. So right now he is watching 61 and eating peanut butter wings. Peanut butter wings.
Peanut butter wings.
Fantastic, to be honest.
That sounds actually pretty good because like the Thai cooking uses peanut butter in a lot of their things, and even the Filipinos, and it's so good. It's like that. It just adds this like texture to the food.
I am a peanut butter junkie. Peanut butter candy, peanut butter cereal, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter on my ice cream, peanut butter everywhere. I love it.
Yeah,
that's
I'll
crazy.
eat it right off the spoon, like killing it.
Oh yes, well, Luke of El Georges, and guys, so welcome El Georges. If you guys are just popping in, I have Kirk from the Rushmore Show, who is going to be watching the movie 61, eating peanut butter with one person you get to choose to be with you forever.
Oh man, now you have to pick. I guess my wife. Yeah, you put her first under God. So be my wife.
Yeah. Good call.
Our kids, they'd have to be off the island. They'll be rescued.
Okay, so the girl dad is saying Wayne's World, and he's going to be eating cereal. And wow,
there you go.
So wow,
Wayne's World is definitely his favorite movie of all time for sure. It's brought up more than you can imagine.
Have you had peanut butter on a hamburger? I have not, but Robert Springs has. Is it good?
I have. I actually a place in Nashville there does burgers, and they have a peanut butter burger, and it was awful. I mean, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I bet it's great. It's just that burger was not good.
Yeah, it seems like it should be good, but maybe they burned it or something, and it got a burnt taste. Let's see, David. Okay, so how about you, David? You got 3 choices. Since we're doing, I'm doing the 3. So let's. Movie, food, and a person. Could be a dog too. So it's a
movie. Let me think about the movie. Food, I would say would be pizza. I could live off pizza forever.
That was our second episode ever was pizza toppings.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And you're
well,
and you're
I
gonna
would go with the standards. I don't know if anybody knows Donato's, depending on where your geography is, but like the founder's favorite, just the regular banana peppers and all that. I don't know if my wife would want to be trapped with me on an island. I think she would want a little bit more space. I think I would vote for having her, but she might try to flee the scene. She's like, I have to be trapped with just him. She's a busy person. She gives everywhere she goes. She's a giver. She's a servant to everybody she's around.
oh my gosh.
So I don't know. I guess since she would decline, I think it would be Arrow, my dog.
Oh, okay. So okay? Let me say what.
Because I'm already gonna have God there. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's omnipresent. Obviously, actually, that's why people are like, dude, where do you find him? I was like, dude, he's omnipresent. Haven't you read anything? He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Santa Claus. No, not like Santa Claus. That guy's fake. But like the other guy
Yeah.
that we're talking about, he's everywhere. So which
You
is
know,
weird. Like,
if I would say movie, I would probably say Aliens, the second Alien movie.
oh man, I thought you were gonna.
Science fiction show.
Yeah, well, that's because the transformation of the main character, kind of like in Terminator 2, the second Terminator. I mean, that transformation of Sarah Connor from one movie to the next.
Aliens also made our franchise movie show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
I was
up,
surprised
Veronica?
That some of the ones that were later in the that came later, I started to really like those too.
Well, Aliens and Prometheus and Predator all kind of blend together now. So yeah. So they brought them all.
I don't know if you've seen the it was a Predator prequel that they called Prey. It was actually really well done.
It is well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Whenever you find something like that turns out to be good, that you think's going to be not as good, you think might be sketchy.
So question, Dave, are you a 80s metal guy? 80s band?
That's 80s and just about everything else. I'm a big music fan.
Yeah. So you are welcome to join us on Friday if you would like and come and hang out. I know you guys are a team sometimes.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be great. Thank you.
That sounds super
if you're
awesome.
not doing anything, you can come and join us and make it a party.
Yeah, let me check my calendar.
Check your calendar. But real quick, what's up, Veronica of Christy Crazy Crafty Life, having lunch in San Diego, and then David of Callie and Jordan Squad, another Canadian buddy of ours, and then Nikki 2 times was talking about Willy Wonka, and I don't know if it's gonna have chocolate, and then we got Nick of Whole Southern Cooks. Yeah, so if you guys are just popping in, I have Kirk from the Rushmore show with, of course, my buddy David of Guitar Off the Cuff. And I'll be on the Rushmore show on Friday, and David's going to make a note, and I'm going to make sure I text him and remind him. David and I will be on the Rushmore show.
I just want to make sure I start working on my list. That's the main thing I'm worried about.
So here's the deal. Everybody out there in Breakfast Club world, if you guys come and check out the show, you need to bring your top 4. So whatever they are, and we can match the top 4, Dave. Like we call them Crushmores. If we match the first 4, but we cannot match any honorable mentions. So you have to bring another list of like 10 or so. Well, when we have 4 guests, you probably want to bring 12 or so extra in case, because you can't say anything that's mentioned before, anything that's already been mentioned. So you're trying to just say somebody that maybe we haven't heard of, or that you just really missed your mountain. So do your top 4 and then come up with maybe 10 to 12 others that you think should get a mention.
Nice. Well, I can definitely, once I start looking at my iTunes library, it's not going to be hard.
It's
not going to be hard at all.
As soon as he gave me the topic, I leaned back for a second and I was like, okay, I got it.
You're like, wait for it. Accessing data. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an '80s guy, so this one was not hard at all. I've had some that I mean, actually, we've actually had several times, especially recently, where we're changing them as we're talking. I mean, it's like, nah, you know what? I'm not going to do this one. I've got another one that just popped in my head I think's better. And we've done that too.
Well, see, that's fun because that's the point where you're being forced to state your decision, not which is really when you're making your decision until you say it out loud. Here's
the deal. Once you guys out there actually think about this, it seems kind of easy, but after doing this 114 times, none of these have been easy. You're kind of like, it's almost like, you know, having to pick between your kids sometimes. It's like, who do I put at number 5? That's the key. Like who. And it's kind of an odd number because most people do 5 or 10 or 25 or even 100. 4 is it's not just number 1, but it's not 5. So you're kind of in a middle ground.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was talking to.
I bet it gets harder actually. If you think about it,
it is very hard to be honest. Number 4 is the hardest always. You always know your number 1 and probably your number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3 is you like this band, pretty decently, but number 4 is like, what's the cap? We call it the line in the sand. Like who actually is on this side of the line and who doesn't? And so like that usually number 4, the first one is kind of, you can kind of tell where somebody's going too. And so if you have one that might be a little obscure, that usually goes there, or you know, just maybe you have a guilty pleasure type with which that one's coming up. Bert? Andy was an old punk heavy metal band guy.
Nice.
And he is having his whole band on in a month. So we're going to have seven guests doing, and they're all metal guys. They're all metal and punk. We're doing guilty pleasure songs. So the complete opposite of what you would expect from these guys. So
I have a playlist on iTunes.
And a long show, to be honest.
Nice. Yeah, I created an iTunes playlist with I call it Closet Skeletons or something like that.
These are all going to be probably songs you don't. You know, if somebody caught you singing in your car, you're like, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, especially me, because I'm a self-proclaimed music snob, so I criticize myself.
Guys, speaking of music, we got Sable's music videos in there. Sable just put out a playlist of 80s music. Welcome, Sable. We got John Swarzik, the Four Cats in the Virginia Mountain Chef.
Sable's channel is killing it.
Yes. And
dude, I remember when I first logged in here, Sable was one of the first ones I think I went and subbed. And I'm pretty sure that they were under 1,000. And man, they're just blowing up now. Last time I checked, they were like 8,000 or 7,000.
Yeah, she's got a very good playlist and stuff. I know Sable's been working on some stuff that's like less, like not copyrighted things. So I've been seeing some things pop out here and there. So yeah, it's a good channel. I listen to it when I'm grading and stuff. And you know, while you guys were talking, I don't know why Faster Pussycat was just popping in my head. This just like, you know, like
that's one I would have forgotten about until I accessed.
I have no idea, but like I just like, hey guys, have you ever heard Faster Pussycat? I'm like, dude, Faster Pussycat, but it's like it's so scratchy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like, and then no one home in my house of pain. That song, like, oh my gosh. I think I was probably 7th grade, and that's the time in life where you don't know who the hell you are, where have you been, where you're going, and you hate everything. So I remember hearing that song, and I said, yeah, I'm living in the house of pain, even though I was in house of love, everything I needed. I was like, that was the soundtrack of my 7th grade life. House of Pain not by Cypress Hill, but by Faster Pussycat.
Mm-hmm.
It just little songs popping in, and your heads and stuff. So let's see. On your end, I
I
have.
always hear music in my head, whether there's music going on outside in the world or not.
I get people laugh at me all the time because as soon as somebody says something, I associate it to some kind of lyric, and I'll sing my response back. And they're especially the STEM teacher who lives across from me at school. He's like, "Bro, you know more lyrics than," and I'm like, "I really don't. I just know that lyric. I can't tell you the rest of the song, but I know that lyric." Yeah.
You know just enough to put it in his head for the rest of the day.
Yes.
I had a guy who I worked with that did that. He would come in and he would just sing not the chorus, but the verse of a song. And then he would get to the chorus, and then sure enough, 4 hours later, that song is still in your head. It would be something by Journey or Styx or something like that is definitely gonna stick.
Oh my gosh, that's like the intro. It's pre-gaslighting time. Like people were practicing on gaslighting by planting earworms. What is it called when something gets stuck and it's just continuously rolling through your head? What is it called? I think it's called earworms or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's earworm. I think you're right.
Yeah, and it's like someone just does that, like, and it's stuck with you. It's right in the back, but then it starts to creep up throughout the whole day. And like, why is this thing in my head? And it's like a lyric, or it's a random thing, like vote for Pedro, or.
Hey, so Bert, just a little self-promotion. It kind of, I love the fact about the community here, and I love Spine Tick's community too. That was our favorite thing, is community. I've actually mentioned this with you on a couple phone calls, Bert, is I don't really even care if we get monetized. I mean, obviously we'd always love it. But for us, it's the community. That's why we've been hanging out in your space and Seth Lordley's space, and just loving the connections with everybody. So if anybody out there in the Breakfast Club wants to join us on our show, we are welcoming and opening that to anybody that wants to. 6 topics: movies and TV, music, video games, food, nostalgia, and sports. If you guys are one of those that like any of those 6 topics, which that pretty much nails out everybody. Video games we've already done, and music we're almost done with. Movies is next. I think I have all the guests. But nostalgia, sports, and food are coming up soon. If anybody wants to join us, we're always looking for folks. It's the best way to do it is reach us on Instagram, in our DM. Slide into the DM over there on Instagram or on Facebook, and we'll definitely put it together. We usually send an email out of kind of the flow of how we do it, and 100%. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Slide into the DM.
We've already done cats. We've already done a cat show. Go check that cat show out. We've done pop culture cats. And that was our 2nd episode. It was our 3rd episode. It was fun. It was a blast.
Did Hobbs make the list of Calvin and Hobbs?
I'll say Cringer made mine. Man. I mean, thinking back, there's Heathcliff, I know, and Garfield both made it. Back then we didn't do honorable mentions, so I think we only did 4. And so there were only 8 mentioned. And I think he did a Thundercat, Lion-O maybe. So pop culture cats, we mentioned them back in 3 years ago. So go check that one out. Who said that? 4 cat billies in a Virginia mountain shack.
That is John there. That's our buddy John Swarzek. I put your Gmail in the StreamYard link in case anybody wants to be part of the show and talk about pop culture. What's cool about the Breakfast Club, the Modern Day Breakfast Club, is that the demographics are around 45-ish to, it's older people that have seen a lot of cool things, and they love music and animals and cats and people, and they're just a great community to like hang out with, and they have a lot of information about like music and of course movies and stuff.
Well, you brought up a good point there, Bert. I'm 45 and Andy's 35, so our channel ranges usually from like late 70s to 2000, so you can get a mixture of whatever in that, because we're about 10 years apart. And so I'm usually 80s, 90s. He's usually 90s, 2000. So that's what makes our show kind of move and kind of reach other audiences. So if you're that 45 range, you'll probably like more of my list than Andy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And go ahead, David.
I'll make sure I root you on.
Let me just say hello to
I'll just say, good pick, Kirk. Good pick. Good pick.
Sean, the Jedi Master, popping in. He lives about 15 minutes from me. He is an Astros fan, and he is basically saying, how about that no-hitter from Astros no-hitter? So I'm not
hey,
sure.
Sean, how about that sweep? Sorry.
So,
Go Yankees. Go Yankees.
Oh, and I'm seeing Def Leppard, Styx, Rush, and the Brady Bunch. Okay, that's some good. I like Styx, man.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, Def Leppard, Styx, and Rush is making this show. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikki 2 times is 47. So the demographics are right. John, you are part of the demographics. The mid range is like 40ish, and then we go all the way out to 75 or so. Like I'm just looking at like the demographics of the people that I've talked to, and all of us are young at heart and mind, right? So yeah. Like I feel my body feels like 50, but my brain thinks like a 7th grader. So it's and I think that's why I'm able to like.
I'm sorry, Jedi. I'm sorry. I thought we could be friends.
It's okay. Sean, it's okay. I mean, I have an Astros stuff there too, and it's one of those things. I have not watched the game because
that's the best kind of games, Jedi, is when they're given to us. I like that. I'll take them.
But let's see. I think I did put your email. If you guys anybody interested,
I saw it up there. You did post it. The Rushmore Show @gmail.com. You can find us, and look, I'll put. I'm going to put my link tree in here right now, which has everything that you need to find us. If you go to the Instagram or the Facebook, that's the best way. I jokingly say this, Bert, I know you love it because you've emailed me a ton of times. It is the one form of communication I wish would just die. Email it's so archaic, like type, wait, receive, type. Like I want to type and type and type and type like this. Like I want to talk back and forth, not wait for your response. So anyways, if you email me, we'll get it. It just might not be as quick a response. But if you DM us, and you guys are welcome to join us. Here's the deal. If you like food, we'll let you pick the food topic. So unless it hasn't already been said. And, I know like for movies, we have a couple guys from Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming on. We have a guy named Joe Mexican. He's doing a action comic book movie called Dope Smack. He's coming on. We have a stunt man who was in several things you would know. He's coming on. Cool. We have a lot of people. Those guys are all friends that we've met along the way. We've got some sports guys coming on. We kind of try and reach out to the people in those communities. But we're always loving the idea of collabing so we can share your content as well. It's like our favorite. So if you want to go to the link tree, you can follow us on all those things. But Instagram or Facebook would be the best to DM us, and then we'll let you pick the topic, and it's on Friday nights live. So if you yourself go live on those Friday nights, then we can always move it to a Thursday or pre-record it. That's still available. So we like to be live now though, but pre-recorded is still available.
Yeah, live is so fun.
This is Retro Cannon. Go follow him. He has got a video game page that he's going through all the old video games for the very first time. He just made 9. So he's playing like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers. It's a cool little channel. Go check him out.
Nice.
Let's see what we got going on here. We got 23 people still up in the house. Welcome and thank you if you're just popping in. This is the Rushmore show. We got Kirk, and then of course we got Mr. Vote for Pedro over there, Sparky of Clark Griswold fame over there, Mr. Dave, guitar off the cuff, and
who's also a big fan of video games.
I used to, man, I have such an addictive personality that I had to stop. I had to literally pull myself away from Call of Duty. Man, I got so far, like so deeply into Call of Duty Cold War that it just almost took over my whole life. I was like, I didn't want to go to work. I just wanted to play and get that golden AK-47 and, you know, like, oh my God. I was like, I was so good.
You're saying, if I wasn't married, I probably would not be seen. But my wife makes me stop all those things and come and join the family. So,
yeah. So I think Callie and Jordan Squad has a question there in your chat area. I think I'm not sure if he's asking about the channel or
what is the channel? Yeah, we're called the Rushmore Show. It's a play off of Mount Rushmore. So the 4 guys on the mountain, we rank our top 4, our Rushmore of pop culture things. So again, movies, TV, video games, sports, nostalgia, food, and music. So we do that. And then we're also youth pastors. So we do a little bit of ministry in another part of the channel as well, if you want to be a part of any of that.
Yeah, and Callie and Jordan Squad, I got my first live stream like with a person taste from David, and he said, "Come on, it's cool." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is kind of cool." And then I kind of fell in love with live streaming. Hello, Angela's Critters. So like Angela's Critters, hey, welcome. And she just got monetized, so she was enjoying seeing ads in her stuff. So if you guys are watching Angela's Critters, make sure the ads play. She's a fantastic lady who does fantastic recipes. And yeah, welcome. And then there's quite a bit. If you know if people are monetized, just like I make sure like the ads play. Like usually I'll be like, no, don't touch that.
I have to remind myself because my impatient nature.
Yeah. I always got to tell my daughter, like, I was like, hey, check and see what you think about that video I made. And I'm watching her and I see her finger. I'm like, do not. I need that 0.06 cents. Do not skip that little ad. Just wait. So she's like, whatever, Dad, and pushes and looks at me.
Wait for it.
That's fine. It's fine. Hopefully I'll get 1.4 million people watch it and you don't have to watch it. Like,
yeah. So I just noticed I'm sorry. He was asking, or I apologize if it's a lady. They were asking me about my son's channel. So I posted my son's channel in the comments.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's David of Callie and Jordan. He's from Canada. It's another Canadian friend of ours.
Yeah, I've had a couple Canadians on our show. Actually, three different guys come on that are Canadian. Actually, one of them, he has been in here. Retro Game Collector.
Oh yeah. I actually had him on the. He was like my 3rd or 4th person to pop on the live stream. It was fun. Screech.
Yeah, he was on our show. He was one of our first lives in January.
That was his name is Screech, and that's a cool dude.
Yep,
Screech. I could never forget that.
I remember on his channel watching him doing a hunt for different console games on different platforms and stuff like that, and showing the loot that he comes home with. Yeah,
so Callie and Jordan, I think he's got 7,000 or maybe 8,000 subs. I'm not too sure. He's interested in coming on. It seems I'll go on your show.
You're on. I'll respond to any DMs or PMs after the show, and then we can get that going. Yeah.
DM, PM Dawn. What do you guys think about PM Dawn, that one group?
Yeah, dude. That he just passed away not long ago.
I think so. I think that's. I don't know why I was thinking of like you were saying DM, but then I remember talking to someone about PM Dawn, and I used to love listening to.
Dude, I love that one song. That was a jam.
Was it? Is it my turn to? No.
Set adrift on memory bliss.
Yeah. That's a cool song too.
He passed away recently. Yeah. He pass away? Yep, he passed away. Looks like about 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think I was probably a junior in high school. If not, I was right out of high school, and it was the time of my life and fun times. Like one of those exciting times in life. But PM Dawn, Die Without You.
Congratulations, right. Angela.
Yeah, then the song is titled. Thank you, Nick, for Die Without You. That song. Now I'm gonna later on, I'm gonna get a bunch of PM Dawn songs and put it in a little playlist and listen to it while I hit my bob dummy, because I always wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock, and I go to my bob training dummy and I play silly things like Color Me Bad. I'm so glad I found you, and I'm jamming the.
So it's nothing dummy. Aggressive. It's
no,
completely different than what you're.
It's smooth.
Bert, those songs right there are going to be the type of songs you're going to hear in that Guilty Pleasures for sure.
That is super guilty pleasure. The Color Me Bad, awesome. The PM Dawn, the Keith Sweat, that's what I listen to. The Tony Rich Project, I listen to that while I hit the.
Those are all good. Those are all good, man.
And I listen to it when I'm doing violent things with the bob dummy, right? So I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing? You're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. You got a dart right there. You're crazy. That's how I feel in the morning. So
yeah.
My thanks. Let's see real quick. Do you play an instrument, Kirk?
I don't. Andy does. I was on the athletic side of things. I was the sports guy. He's the musician guy. So he does drums, but he also plays guitar. He can play bass, I believe. I don't know if he's still in here, but he does play quite a bit. This is how we met. So he showed up at our church, and I just realized that he was kind of a sports guy as well. And so I tried to make friends with him, and I found out that he was a teacher at the local middle school. And I was like, oh, that's a middle school that kids come to my youth, and I need to make friends with him. Then I found out he was a drummer, and I said, hey, look, I would love for you to come and hang out. I was secretly really needing a worship drummer and hoping he would come and drum. I didn't know that he was like a metal drummer, right? And no hate on that, because I love metal. And then I found out that he taught, or that he was the softball coach. And if you ask him, he softball really wasn't his jam. He was a football guy. He took the position. Yeah. Well, my daughter is a elite level softball player. I mean, she's and I played college ball and playing baseball and whatever my son plays. That's our life. And I said, okay, here's the deal. How about I come over and help you coach your softball team? Yeah. You come over and help me start a worship team at the youth, because I don't have one. Yeah. And he's like, that's a deal. And so he started being our friend. That's kind of how we became friends. And cool. He's the musician. I can't play anything but beat on the table, and it's out of tune. So
I don't play any instruments. Oh wait, never mind. I got guitars and keyboards and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. I am terrible.
It just takes spare time. It's which is hard. I don't have a lot of regrets in my life, but if one of the things I wish I would have done at an earlier age was kind of pick up percussion, because I do like percussion. I do like drums. I do like even brass. I like some good horns, but I think I'd rather do drums. Guitar is too much for me. Piano, keyboard, that's too much too. So yeah, Jedi. It's a part of the testimony. I walked on at Southeastern Louisiana University, and before the first game, I failed off the team, and then I joined the Air Force. So I made the team, and then I got cut. So it's a part of kind of a weird part of that story. But yeah, that's where I played for maybe
2 months of practices. So maybe a little more. But yeah, I'm from Louisiana, Jedi. I'm from the New Orleans area. We didn't have baseball back then. My dad was a huge Mickey Mantle fan, which is one of the reasons I said 61 earlier. And my dad raised me on the Yankees, and so I love the Yankees, all things Yankees.
I remember driving across that bridge down there.
So those two bridges.
That's a long drive.
So I live on the other side of that bridge from New Orleans.
Okay.
I live on, it's called the North Shore. That's where me and Andy actually live is on that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I live in Atlanta now. Yeah, I live in Atlanta now.
Okay.
But
check out the comment down there from John.
Yeah, well, we talk about this quite a bit. The curse of the 27.
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, man. There's just here's the thing. Anybody in the limelight like that, if you don't have the right people, well, one, I hate to take it spiritual, but if you don't have a higher power in your life, which would be Jesus, but if you don't have something to live for, one, and two, you don't have people over your life like mentors, good parents, good leaders, and a lot of people that go into music don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a release. Like not of course everybody. There's outliers, right? But a lot of people, the rebels, if you will, they go into those things without that, and that is their release, and they fall. I mean, even like professional wrestlers, if you watch those guys, I mean, there's so many like people that are in the limelight that get this stuff and they just don't have, I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan too. And I'm just watching this Rushy Rice thing that the wide receiver getting in this car accident. Like these guys, they have all this money and they've got all this time, but not mentors in their life that are like, hey, right. And one of my favorite stories, John, is the Korn band, right? And how they got saved and kind of coming out of all that and leaving all that and kind of fighting between that. It's a great documentary. But yeah, man, it's an epidemic of fatherless kids, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't have a father. It just means he wasn't present or wasn't at least whatever he's saying is not being welcomed. So I can preach on that all day, but we'd go a whole nother channel. We'd have to go to a whole nother channel.
So we got John has been to lots and lots of concerts. John, and it was so fantastic, Dave, when we had John on. That was such a surprise and such a blessing for him to come on. I'm like, oh my God, look at John on here, and that was fun.
We were winging it.
Yeah, like Kip wingering it, right? So we were just like wingering it.
Kip winger.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then
John, we actually did our top four concerts we've ever been to. We actually had that episode back in our first summer.
I'm gonna have to go look that one up. That's got to be a good one.
Yeah, I've been to probably I'd say about 40 or 50 concerts. That's probably my wheelhouse there. But yeah, we did our top four, and I'll give my George out. My number one was Prince. And when I went to it, he was formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
But as far as actually putting on a show, man, every nickel that I spent was worth it. And I wasn't even really a Prince fan. My girlfriend drugged me there. And it was a fantastic, fantastic show. Man, so good.
That's somebody who I would have loved to have seen live, because it's just his personal show.
I don't know if it was Andy's number one. You mentioned drummers, guys. Andy's, I don't know if it was number one, but it was definitely in his top four was Rush. And he saw Rush. It was one of Neil Peart's last shows before he passed. Yeah. Speaking of drummers.
I was just seeing a video. He was playing, and then there was like a small orchestra section behind him, and they were just watching what he was doing. I don't know what the setting was. It was just a short, and it's just him going 90 miles an hour, and one of the guys behind him is just kind of you can see his head just blowing up.
Yeah, well, he was on both of our Rushmores of drummers. We did that. So the very first time we did music, we did our top 4 vocalists, our top 4 drummers, our top 4 bassists, and our top 4 guitarists. And then we took the top 4 of each, or the number 1 of each, and made what would be our top 4 or our best band, right? And having all 4. And
nice.
Neil Peart was in both of ours. It was a George number 1 for one of us and a number 2 for the other one of us. So, yeah, he's amazing.
This would be a good concert. Jimmy Buffett and Steve Miller Band together, kind of like.
I'm going to see Steve Miller in July.
Oh, man.
Along with my George on Friday.
Wow.
On the show on Friday. Yeah, we'll come in July.
What is this? What? Man, I need to see an actual concert. The last one was REO Speedwagon that I went to.
So you mentioned
the Golden Nugget.
I almost went to REO about a month and a half ago. They were down in Savannah, and I almost went, but we couldn't make it happen and get down there in time to get back.
Yeah, I mean it was nice. The dude could still, was still pretty good, but you could tell he's like, oh gosh, he can't do the normal how he sang from the tracks, right? It's like it's still good. Like I could see how you I'm just gonna tone it down a little bit and just power through the show.
Well, a lot of the metal bands do that too as they get older too. They'll just take it and just take the key down just a little bit in their songs.
Well, I don't know how much you guys what you guys actually love, but there was a big article put out recently from the guy from Mudvayne, if you know him, and he posted how Vince Neil needs to give it up. He's killing his band, and he's killing because he said, Motley Crue, you got to be done. Why do you keep doing this to yourself?
Yeah.
And coming from Mudvayne,
your legacy.
Yeah, you're chewing into your legacy. Stop.
Yeah.
That's that. If you can't play well, play loud. But I guess not even the loudness is helping.
Dude, he's pretty awful. If you haven't seen any videos of him recently, he's pretty awful. He's pretty awful.
Yeah. There's a question by Luke of El Georges about Peter Criss. Do you guys know Peter Criss?
Well, yeah. That would be Andy's favorite band of all time. We've already mentioned his favorite movie, but that would definitely be his favorite band of all time. And he absolutely loves them. So if you come around and Andy in any stretch of imagination, you'll have Kiss somehow introduced to you somewhere or another.
What's up, Amboy's Corner? Welcome. We got about 10 more minutes on the thing. I got Keith of the Rushmore show here with me and my co-host.
Kirk.
Sorry.
Kirk. You've been renamed.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. I don't know why I keep calling you guys.
We've already talked about this.
I know. It's just you do know my medicine starts to wear off at 7:30. So it's seriously, my Adderall is totally out of my system at this point. So I'm like, Kirk, he's here. We got Amboys.
Sons. Wow.
Yeah, Amboys does some cool stuff on their channel. So welcome. And then John plays piano. Let's see what we got going.
And I'm just a terrible musician. I can tell you that. I can't play. I could play "Mary Had a Little Lamb," or something like that. But I'm not good. I'm not good at all.
What song is that? Now that Peter Criss and Kiss, there's a song by a band talking about. Is it Weezer? I don't know if it's Weezer. My favorite rock group, Kiss. What is this? In My Room or something? I don't know.
Andy would know this. I have no idea.
See, that's that earworm creeping into my ear now. There's a song mentioning it might be Weezer.
Somebody's gonna chime in here. Oh, I know.
Yeah, that one. They mention it. It's
we did cover songs last week, Bert.
I was there, and yeah,
I have realized that some of our favorite artists, Weezer being one of them.
Weezer's freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome, but like over 50% of some of our favorite artists' catalogs are all covers. They're all covers. And it was interesting to type that in and go, oh, I didn't know that was a cover. Oh, I didn't know that was a cover. Oh, I didn't know that was a cover. Like for instance, Rod Stewart, I think he made like 3 of his own songs. Everything else was like covered. Whitney Houston, so much of hers was covered. And like, and nothing against that or against them. It's just like, it was interesting to kind of do your research and being like, well, gosh, this just opened a bigger door than I thought we were going to go into. Because, you know, you automatically think of those 4 or 5, but Weezer, you mentioned Weezer. Weezer has a ton of them, a ton of good
Disturbed
covers.
has a lot of great covers.
Disturbed was on my mountain. Disturbed is one of probably my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah,
I've seen them twice.
Their version of Shout.
What's that?
Shout.
Yeah,
Let It All Out.
They did Shout. They did Land of Confusion.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Genesis. They did Song of Silence.
Yeah.
Or Sound of Silence. Was that David Bowie? I think.
And
yeah, they got
what else they did. But yeah, I do like it whenever bands do covers. It's
now my number one was funny because I was shocked to find out that it was a cover, and it didn't surprise me that it was a cover. Like it just surprised me of the song it was covered from.
Yeah,
was "Renegades of Funk" by Rage Against the Machine.
Nice.
And if you go and find the original of that and enjoy that little ditty, that's hilarious.
So it sounds nothing like.
Not even close. It's by Africa Bambaataa, which is one of the originators of hip hop back in like 81 or something. And it sounds like
was that the dude in left field in rhythm in left field?
They were with no, he was one of the grandfathers of hip hop is what they call him. He's from New York. He's with the guys that did what is it called? Not Gangsters. What's that original song that kind of always gets the #1 hip hop song ever? Hip hop, the don't stop rock to the bang bang jigga up tuck.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was with those guys. But anyway, go check that out. That is hilarious.
Well, I guess
Africa Bambaataa is his name. With a K. Africa with a K.
The Ghost of Tom Joad, I guess, was a remake.
There you go, Nick. Rapper's Delight.
So yeah, Rapper's Delight. There you go.
There you go.
But Tom Joad was on my list to be a Benjamin there, Dave. But I had already mentioned Nirvana in my mountain, so I wanted to give it a little bit more variety. Yeah, because I gave Lake of Fire from. I'm sorry, no, Ghost of Tom Joad was Rage. So I knew I was going to do that one, the Renegades of Funk, and Ghost of Tom Joad was my original one that I was going to put on there. And then when I found that, I was like, Tom Joad, you got to go off, which was Bruce Springsteen. And it's fun stuff.
It's always fun to see what bands that a band who they pick to do remakes of. It's always neat to see not only who do they appreciate, but who do they have fun playing their stuff.
Mentioning Bruce Springsteen, several of his stuff got picked up by lots of people.
Oh yeah.
I tell you one that was very underrated that we all kind of mentioned was Johnny Cash's Hurt from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's a really good remake.
There's another version of that his son did after he died. Oh, wow. That Johnny Cash's son did, covering Johnny Cash's cover of Nine Inch Nails. And also we talked about this. One of our guests mentioned this, said that Trent Reznor, which is the Nine Inch Nails lead singer, for anybody out there that might not know, he refused to let Johnny Cash sing it. And Johnny said, "Hey, can you just give me a couple minutes and let me sing this and see what I have for you?" And it said that Trent left that soundboard or that viewing and said, "It's not my song anymore, it's yours."
Yeah.
Because Trent sung that about his addiction.
Yeah.
It was really personal to him. And so he was like, "No, I don't want you to do that." And then after that, he's like, "Nah, it's your song now."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Another good one was the Pearl Jam. We talked about this one. Pearl Jam's cover of "Where, oh, where should my baby be?" Oh gosh. Anyways, there's a version where he sings that with his daughter. You want to talk about crying? Go see that version.
Wow.
That's about 10 minutes after I popped in. You guys were talking about tear jerking, kind of like it ended up that then it changed.
I mean, Chris Cornell's version as well of which is
Nothing Compares to You. I remember.
Nothing Compares to You. Gosh,
that's haunting. Every time, I probably watch that one once every couple months at least.
Those are all ones. So if you go back and watch our show, Dave, those are all ones that were mentioned. Like I'm bringing up some of them.
Nice.
And so and then we bring up some other ones. We had some guys on there. They're really punk fans. They like punk, so they brought up a bunch of stuff that like Cancer Bats and stuff like that. So
Dead Kennedys.
Yeah. It's fun
the
stuff.
Butthole Surfers.
Yeah. So Chris Cornell's voice. You go back to vocalists. He's on both of our mountains. Chris Cornell, to me, man, it is haunting's a good word. He was a part of that dying too early, though, man. Dying too early.
Yeah.
But I mean, his was self-inflicted. But you don't. Man, those guys, they go through it and they can't get out of it. But his voice is amazing. One of the greatest voices of all time.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, like I was just thinking, like a lot of those performers, it's almost like you only have so much to like share with the world, like, okay, here's what you got. There's like this bottle of freaking magic, and if you use it all, you're done. Like it's almost like they shared everything out. Like it's just like, holy crap, you like.
Well, Bert, we haven't really talked about my teaching side of things, but I just thought of it because you brought this up. I often talk about, because I'm a health teacher, and even at like 5th grade level, right? Some of the 5th grade kids at Health Elementary, one of the things I talk about is like how success isn't going to fill the hole. And, I'm obviously a pastor too. I know it really fills the hole, but, but talking to them, one of the guys that I always go to is Robin Williams, right? I mean, like success. I mean, you can't get any more successful than Robin Williams.
Right.
I mean, funny, revered, top movies of all time, top comedy shows of all time, top voice acting of all time, I mean, just celebrity of all time. And then, he couldn't find happiness. You couldn't find happiness. Yeah. And you've always got these demons, man. You don't know what people are dealing with.
Well, I think Bert, based on what you just said there, the way I kind of look at it is people share what's gotten them to that point in life, but sometimes I see artists quit living their life, and then it's just about the chase, and then there's nothing new to come into their writing, and it just becomes this endless cycle of just grinding through the same stuff, and then because if they focus too much on the success, then
it doesn't help. Like John brought up a point earlier on that it doesn't help that, like, okay, you have all these bands, right? Like the Makeup Rock, they're doing a thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them probably do want to do that. But then there's that marketing piece that this is who you're gonna be, and you're gonna do it this way. It's like you're like, it's like you're selling things that it's not you, and then you think it's
the
you.
Irony of that. The irony of that is in the beginning, most of those do that to not sell out. And and then you see somebody at the end, like, for instance, Limp Bizkit and Wes Borland. The big argument, he's painting his face. We're supposed to be anti-authoritarianism and blah, blah, blah. And he leaves, right, and goes and starts these other bands. And the bands get destroyed because the makeup left. I mean, like, seriously, like, that's kind of what happened. And then I was also thinking of a couple other bands like Kiss, right? They've always been behind the makeup. And a couple times when they come out, like, people always are like, wait, what is this about? You know, I mentioned Mudvayne earlier. They kind of do that. Ghost is the kind of the new thing where every year they redo themselves. It's a marketing ploy. I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do to kind of go to your audience. But if the bad thing is whenever someone changes their style, man, the cancel culture just goes at them. You can't be a band like 311 anymore. Back in the day, 311's every album was different. You can't do that. They would be right off the stage.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like, no, this is where you're going. This is how you're gonna sound. These four notes you're gonna play. They're like, really? Those 4 notes? Yeah. With some synth. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Metallica rebuilt themselves 4 or 5 times, but everybody wants them to go back to the 80s or the 90s, depending on where you grew up.
Yeah.
Who made a comment?
Whenever they already
on.
made those songs, why do you want them to go back and make those songs? Can you imagine the world without like Enter Sandman and all these other ones? That it's just
Whiskey in the Jar made our show.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then some of the newer stuff too. Just insane good stuff. And
hey John, 311. I used to go to 311's concert every March 11th in New Orleans for 311 Day. What's up, Rad Bash? Welcome to the Modern Day Breakfast Club. Rad Bash is on my show, guys. Go follow him if you like video games.
Hello, Rad Bash.
He has a group of video game creators called the Super Retro Team. It's like 11 or 12 guys. If you like video games, go follow him and you'll get a plethora of great video game content.
Nice.
All right. So we have about 5 minutes here, guys, until, it's already 8, but I try to kick off right around 8, which is weird because there's a second set of people that would come in, like this thing, but I try to stay 6 to 8. So we got about 5 minutes left on here. So like, Kirk, I'll let you go ahead and maybe, shout yourself out. I know I'm going to be on with,
absolutely.
Kirk.
So here's the deal. We are the Rushmore Show. We rank our top 4 pop culture things. You've heard some of the stuff we talk about. We're not experts in our field, but we're experts in our favorite. So we love what we love, and all of us are a little different. We invite guys from all kinds of spaces, older, younger, girls, boys. We're Christian, but you don't need to be Christian to come on, as long as you keep it kosher, and keep it civil. But we love the opportunity just to make community. Go find us at the Rushmore Show on YouTube. You can find us. I sent our link tree. I'll put my link tree in again, but my link tree is where you can find all of our content. And it's basically our Instagram. We're on Twitch sometimes, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. We got it all. There it is in the comments. If you guys want to be on the show, DM me. We put our content out every Friday at 7 Central is when we go live. Unless we have a guest or something going on with our family, we'll go Thursday at 7. If neither one of those days work, we'll pre-record it and put it out on that Friday, so it won't be live to chat, but you'll be able to see what we talked about ahead of time. We're in Music Month, and we got a few more weeks. This is what we got. We got 80s metal with Bert right this Friday, and Dave, and then we have 90s country. One of our guest picks, so 90 country songs. We have guilty pleasure songs coming up. We have John Hughes, music from John Hughes movies coming up. And we have one more music. I can't remember. And then we're going to jump right into movies and TV for the next 2 months, nostalgia, sports, food, back to video games and music. So, come and join us. We love the support. and help us get to 1,000. We're almost there. I mean, we've grown so much
That's
over the last.
awesome.
You are so close, man. So close. And yeah, I'm super excited to be on your show with my buddy David on Friday.
Yeah.
And then I will be on Spine Ticks on
Working on my
Saturday.
list.
And it's going to be good times. And man, thank you so much for coming on today to talk to us about your
Really
channel.
appreciate it.
It's great. And I know you were rushing down, so you made it. We had issues in the beginning, but now we're like, cool. We got to.
Yeah, well, we'll be ready on Friday. I'll be all set up, ready to go. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on. I'll just say this, and as you can see, I'm a pastor. I like to talk, but I am so grateful that you guys welcome us, me, and anybody else here in the chat in Bert and being a part of this. It's so helpful for all us small creators and kind of getting us together. And then introducing me to Spine Ticks and all those. And I found other folks like Chance and Vogs was in here earlier. They all have lives that I kind of bounce in and out and find out. Yeah. But man, you guys are all welcome. We have a great little community being built over there. And last thing I'll say, if you stop in, here's the requirement. You have to leave your top 4 of whatever show you're watching. Just whatever it is, drop the top 4 down in the comments, and then you'll be a part of the Summit Squad.
Otherwise, we'll send someone out to get the answer from you. We will dispatch a reporter.
What's your top 4? Oh, I only have 1. No, what's your 4? That's the whole point. It's 4. 4. Give me your 4. Give me 3 more.
Yeah, we can't be sending people because the people are really, we'll send Kevin Costner on that one show. Remember he was the postman or whatever? I was like, dude, what the hell is this? It was like right after Waterworld. He was like the postman guy. I was like, okay. But man,
that's right. I remember that maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember. So I was like,
I don't remember it. But I
remember the postman. But hey, chat, thank you all for coming. You guys have a fantastic night.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
And yeah, well, I'll see you. I'll be with Mr. Kirk.
Friday night.
Kirk on Friday, and I'll be with Sith on Sunday, and then I'll be back on with David on Tuesday. But thank you all in the chat, and you guys have a fantastic night, man. Thank you all for coming. Peace out, and we'll see you again.
Love you guys.
The next one.